Right, we're carrying on our conversation. This has been really, really interesting. I'm learning a lot here. Okay.
Welcome to Big Questions, Short Answers. I'm Sian.
And I'm Andy, Sian's husband, asking the big life questions.
And possibly adding a little bit of unsolicited advice.
This podcast is brought to you by Sian's value-based online course. Visit sianjacquet.com to find out more. So we've been talking past couple of podcasts about relationships, and the last one was about rejection, and it was a little to do with kids and about what they've been taught and growing up, and maybe there's a generation of people who have to learn techniques to deal with rejection, and that's where we can and we can obviously talk about that, can't we, Sian? You can give people some techniques, but one of the things that I think most people are frightened about is not just rejection at work, but rejection in relationships. Taking it back to my time of, when I was like 14, going across in a community hall dance and asking a girl to dance. She doesn't want to dance with me. It kind of relationships and that idea of rejection starts there. And, I'm going to be brave. Even in our modern society with equal rights and equal women, men have that kind of idea of, calling up a girl and being rejected. Why are you looking at me like that? But it's
because you sound like a dinosaur.
Yeah, I do sound like a dinosaur. Yeah. I'm not a Tinder user. So
Rest assured, I'm very pleased to hear that.
So we want to talk about rejection, or dealing with rejection in terms of relationships. I suppose there's all different sorts, from the beginning, middle, longer term relationships, all the rest of it. So question on the beginning of life in terms of rejection in a relationship. How do we deal with that?
I think there's a big difference. I mean, let's clarify what you're asking me. Are you talking about, when we're younger and we're learning how to project an interest in somebody, how to say, I'm interested in you, whatever, and having a rejection and being rejected? Or are you talking about being in a relationship and then suddenly finding that you are being rejected? There's a big difference.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with finding that partner. And you obviously deal with an awful lot of people through your working life in terms of coaching, and relationships, partnerships are a key part of, making the world go round.
Well, the first thing to say is, right, let's just cut to chase. Mm-hmm. This is not Disneyland. This is not the television. And I think in truth, that's one of the biggest challenges I come across, is that people's beliefs and perceptions of how they should feel and how the world should work is based on what they've seen on television. If I'm honest, and I know that sounds awful, but
Really?
It's true. Yeah? You meet somebody, your eyes meet, there's music, fireworks, it's all lovely. It doesn't really work like that, yeah? One of the first steps of forming a relationship with somebody is that fear of being, as we keep saying, that fear of being rejected, mm-hmm. right? So to do so, you need to make yourself feel, you need to put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah. And rejection is one of the options. So what I tend to say to people, and I do it to myself, I mean, it's kind of a very fundamental part of my thought process is, I go to a place where I say, yes, no, maybe. Mm. Right? Those are the three answers to the question. Mm. Yes, hard no, or a maybe. Mm. Right? None of which are going to kill you. Mm-hmm. And that's what I keep telling myself. So when you're looking for a relationship, or you're looking to find a connection with somebody, in the world according to Sian, the first thing I would say to anybody is manage those expectations, right? If you're going to go and meet somebody, or you're going to start a conversation, or you're in a social situation where you meet, you literally have met somebody for the first time. But finding a life partner or being in a relationship is a major priority in your life. It's about managing that expectation and not radiating desperation or a little bit of weirdness because of the way in which you come across, right?
Yeah.
my advice
Hello, you look
is
nice. Do you want to have my babies?
that, if you want to really and truly form a relationship with somebody that is seriously meaningful, you need to start with the ABCs, and that is friendship. And that is, where is the common interest?
Okay.
And I would say that, again, basic skills of the art of conversation. How many people really and truly know how to be in a group of people or meet somebody and have a conversation with them other than dog chat?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff online that give you tips and stuff about, but that's...
But I think there are people who aren't confident, and there are times when I've done it and still do it. Yeah? I'm going into a certain environment that I may find a little bit pressured or intimidating or whatever. And so you have a handful of opening questions that you can ask people that will build on a conversation rather than create a flat rejection of somebody looking at you thinking you can't even hold a conversation, which, to be honest, is probably the ABCs of how you start a relationship with somebody is through conversation.
And what sort of open questions are we talking about?
Hi, this is my name. What brings you here? And you look for opportunities to ask a further question. Oh, so you came from there. I've never actually been there. I've heard about it. And I've got a friend that works there. What's it like? And you live there and work there. Have you always lived there? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm having a mythical conversation in my head.
Yeah.
It's about leaning in and having a genuine, and if it ain't genuine, human beings have got a radar for bullshit, right? You're not really interested. You need to lean in and genuinely ask people. Yeah.
Because listening is one of your one of the things I'm not particularly good at, but one of the things that is very important to you, listening.
If you want to find a life partner, especially in today's world, I mean, when we met, the world wasn't quite as noisy as it is now. It's much noisier than it was when we met.
Right.
If you truly, truly want to form a relationship with somebody, much less talking, a hell of a lot more listening. And to listen and to create that environment, you need to make somebody feel safe and that they can trust you. So again, the way in which you ask questions in the beginning must make somebody feel safe.
Right.
And that you have a general interest in them.
Yeah.
And that is how you can protect yourself from being rejected. Doesn't mean that person's going to, hold your hand and put a gold ring on your finger. But it means that you will slowly and steadily, in an appropriate way, gain confidence in being able to have a moment.
Well, we're running out of time in our, what we hope to do. But I suppose added to that is the fact that people don't want to wait, do they? They want things to happen quickly.
What did?
Well, in terms of you saying, leaning in and listening, and seems like a lot of work.
Well, yeah. So if you don't lean in and you don't do the work, you'll get a surface cookie cutter. That's booty calls. That's I'm living an independent life. I will have my physical and emotional needs met in bite-sized pieces as and when I feel like it. And look, I'm not here to criticise.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not how I roll. I have to say, after 30 years of doing this, does anybody jump to mind who has a fabulously successful life with those particular modus operandi? I'll leave that hanging.
Yeah.
My point is, you've got to do the work. And
when you say do the work, what specifically is doing the work?
Making yourself vulnerable to learn.
Okay.
It's all of it. Prioritising time, going below the line inside yourself and asking yourself the question, what is it I want to learn? What is it I want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm sitting here saying it and it's like, state the obvious.
Yeah.
But I meet people every day who you included. And I do it at times. Yeah. We body swerve it. We don't do it because it hurts and it's difficult and it's...
But it does prove to be, I suppose, if you do the work, then it means that I suppose you're not so vulnerable because you have an understanding and you're a bit deeper than a superficial individual. I'm not getting it yet.
Well, You're presuming that everybody wants relationships with somebody who's deep. I'm not. I suppose it depends what you categorise as that. What I am trying to say is that to form a relationship with somebody, whether that's an intimate, romantic one, whether that's friendship, whatever, there needs to be a mutual respect and understanding for it to be a safe relationship or a fruitful relationship. And I don't know any other way of doing that other than having aligned values and having the ability to listen to what the other person is contributing. In basic terms, what I see in today's world is that everybody's so busy trying to share their opinion that they're not actually listening. Says she, who's being set up to do this, to share my opinion. But there needs to be a hell of a lot more listening and a lot less talking.
All right, thank you very much for that. We'll speak again soon. Join us next time on Big Questions, Short Answers with Sian Jacquet and me, Andy.
If you have any questions you want to ask, please send them via the website, sianjacquet.com.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share it with everyone you know.
We really do appreciate you sharing 15 minutes with us.
And if you want to do a bit more learning, go on to Sian's website, sianjacquet.com. There's a course on values to create the life you truly love. I did it, and it really does do what it says on the can.
See you next time.